warm it up a little bit and make it a little toasty. Get out of the igloo. It's too cold out there. Cold calling is dead, but I'm here to tell you warm calling is the fastest way to triple your business. In this video, I'm going to go through all of the ways that calling people still can have a massive impact on your business, all while not having to call people who have no idea who you are. First, let's define what a cold call even is. It's when you're calling somebody that has no clue who you are. You're just calling them at random, hoping that they will buy or sell or do something with you. The problem with that is that in 2023, nobody wants to talk to random people calling them and shoving their ad in their face on the phone. So how do you go about doing this in an effective way to scale your business and still leverage the phone, because it is a much faster way to communicate with multiple people at a time? But Garth, what the heck am I supposed to do? I don't have the sphere and I'm trying to leverage the phone. Cold calls are just too cold. It's too frigid. People don't want to talk to that person that they've never met, never seen, never heard of before. Just like my studio right now, it's very cold. But we can warm it up a little bit by clicking a simple button. It's a fun little controller. Now, how do you do that with your marketing? How do you warm it up a little bit and make it a little toasty? And it goes like this. Make those same cold calls, but you're gonna do them when they've heard of you. How does that work exactly? Here's what I train all of my agents to do. Pick a farm. And I know this doesn't make any sense at all, but you find your farm that you're going to send your postcards, your mailers, email, retargeted social media ads, hold open houses there, and the place in the community that you want to work specifically. Now, after sending them a ton of materials, marketing materials, maybe even door knocking, dropping stuff off at their door, and knowing everything about that neighborhood and community, then you call through the neighborhood. There's a few things that are happening here. Number one, you're still getting those dials in. You're still talking to a scaled version of more people. You're still increasing your opportunity. But what you're now doing that's going to make things more effective and efficient is you are actually building your ability to convert, because the people that you are calling have heard of you. Now I'm going to go through the step-by-step process to actually make a warm call happen and then convert from it. But first, I think it's still a little too cold in here. That's a little better. Now, the first step to start making your leads and your clients and your calls a little more warm is making sure, like I said before, they've heard of you. But how do you do that and how do you start? So here is the exact roadmap. Number one, you pick a neighborhood. Whatever neighborhood you're trying to sell, make sure that the people in that neighborhood are not being heavily farmed by an agent already. So look up the current listings, last listings over the past year, and make sure that an agent isn't owning that entire marketplace. And by that I mean more than 30 to 50% of the market share held by one agent. If that's the case, find a new neighborhood. There's a lot of neighborhoods that are not being adequately farmed by an agent. Now, once you've picked your proper neighborhood, you're then going to start farming. By that I mean you're going to send mail, you're going to send custom mail, you're going to send postcards, you're going to get their email from a title agent or a software company that allows you to pull their email. Now, you're going to use those emails to put them into your social media or your Facebook ads manager, and you're going to retarget ad them on Facebook and Instagram. You're then going to send them an email. You are also going to send that snail mail that'll get there a little bit after they've started to see your ads and your email. From there, you start to actually make the calls. The biggest difference of these calls is not only the fact that they've now heard of you, seen your name, understand that you exist as a human, but also it gives you context for the call. Instead of calling out of the blue to say, "Hi, ma'am, this is Garth Ward over at eXp Realty with Park Place, and I'm hoping that I could sell your house for you, please." That's weird. But if it went something like, "Hi, ma'am, this is Garth of eXp Realty, and I was just wondering if you got the package I sent you." And then they're going to sit there and be like, "Well, I'm not sure. What was it?" or something like that. And then you just say, "Well, hey, I did some research and I sent you a package with market information and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera." And now you're getting into building authority, building the fact that you know who they are very specifically, that it is not a random phone call. And even if they're disinterested, that extra work that you put on the front end will result in them giving you direct answers of whether there is interest or not interest, and it increases the likelihood that you do have positive conversations. Because here's the statistics while farming. About 1 in every 10 houses will sell this year. Market's kind of soft, so call it 1 in 20. But let's just use 1 in 10 and we'll just divide it in half later. So 1 in 10 houses will sell this year, which means 1 out of 120 houses will sell this month. Double it, so 1 out of 240 houses will sell this month. And if you can get in front of 240 houses while farming and then use a geographic dialer, you can use the Mojo dialer or the Red X to do this, you can then capture a listing every single month just by doing that many. Now, if you want to increase it, scale it, sure, that's totally fine. But the difference is you will lower the amount of cold calling fatigue you feel and increase the amount of conversions you get and actual closings that you get from your efforts.